Biden and allies are coming for Russian billionaires' yachts. Forbes tracked down 37. That's the headline on a story published March 1st by Forbes magazine, about a week after the Russian invasion of Ukraine began. One of those yachts is docked in St. Augustine.
And the News for Jacksonville team has been digging into the yacht, its owner, Soviet-born billionaire Igor Makarov, and his connections to Jacksonville, that is. It involves a web of international companies and huge amounts of money. I-Team investigator Ann Maxwell joins us now live on the Southside. Ann.
Mary, the I-Team has spent weeks looking into Igor Makarov, his international businesses, and his Jacksonville-based businesses, some of which have had offices in this building behind me. We've found Makarov's business dealings have been involved in multiple investigations, but he's never been convicted of wrongdoing or sanctioned. A yacht in St. Augustine, a Ponte Vedra Beach mansion listed for sale for nearly $17 million, and a 4-story office building on Jacksonville's South Side. All of it tied to Turkmenistan-born billionaire Igor Makarov. Makarov made a fortune in natural gas after the fall of the Soviet Union, and he founded his company, iTerra, in Jacksonville in 1992 with several other people, some of whom still live here. iTerra started out exporting commodities like chicken, coffee, and sugar from the U.S. to former Soviet states, including Makarov's native Turkmenistan. His spokesperson tells us when Turkmenistan built up a significant debt to the company, instead of paying iTerra back in cash, they paid in natural gas, bringing iTerra into the lucrative energy sector. iTerra then became a powerhouse in the energy field, supplying natural gas to Ukraine and other countries. In 2013, Reuters and Forbes reported that Russian state-owned oil company Rosneft bought a 49% stake in iTerra for $2.9 billion. Rosneft already owned the other 51%. The following year, the U.S. sanctioned Rosneft and its CEO, Igor Sechin, after Russia's first invasion of Ukraine and annexation of Crimea. A spokesperson for Makarov said, at the time of the sale, Rosneft was partnered with some of the largest Western-based energy companies in the world. Rosneft was not a sanctioned entity when the transaction took place.
French officials seized the $120 million Amore Vero, claiming it's owned by Igor Sechin.
A few weeks ago, French authorities seized a yacht linked to Rosneft CEO Sechin after the European Union sanctioned Sechin and 24 other people over the invasion of Ukraine. As for Makarov, a spokesperson with a New York City-based PR firm said, at no point in time have sanctions by any government been placed against Mr. Makarov or the businesses or projects he operates. There is no indication or reason to believe any will be employed. iTerra has been in the spotlight before.
FBI agents target the Jacksonville headquarters of a Russian-based company, iTerra.
In 2006, News4Jax reported FBI agents spent hours gathering documents at iTerra's Southside offices. The raid was one of 6 happening that day across the country as federal agents investigated whether Pennsylvania Congressman Curt Weldon helped his daughter's lobbying firm win lucrative contracts with foreign businesses, including a $500,000 contract with iTerra. Weldon was never charged, and we never heard anything else about what the FBI found at iTerra. The Southside building now has a different name on a sign outside, Areti. That's the name of Makarov's current company. A spokesperson says that while Makarov owns the Jacksonville building, Areti doesn't have offices there. It's based in Switzerland. Areti is iTerra, spelled backward. It's also inspired the name of Makarov's 125-foot yacht docked in St. Augustine, the Areti 1. That spokesperson also says Areti is not involved with any energy or business projects in either Ukraine or Russia. Over the years, dozens and dozens of companies associated with key figures in the founding of the original iTerra companies have been based on the 4th floor of this building. The I-Team is continuing to look into them. Live from the South Side, Ann Maxwell, Channel 4, the local station.